right, I hope you're ready for part 2 of lesson 4. If you're not, go back and finish part 1. Okay, so this is the Venn diagram that you're going to do after you read those 3 articles on Newsella about Andrew Jackson, Private Burnett, and from the Cherokee Letter about the Trail of Tears. So when you're doing the Venn diagram, you have 3 circles. And the first thing I would do is label them. See, so I labeled 1 Burnett, 1 Andrew Jackson, sorry it's backwards because of my phone, that is AJ, and Cherokee Letter. Okay, so you have 3 circles, 1 for each article. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the notes that you took from the article, you're going to use specific things from the article and put them in these circles. So first of all, for example, you're going to find something that is similar between, let's say, Burnett and the Cherokee Letter. Okay, so let's say one of the facts is that the Native Americans were forcibly removed. Okay, they were removed by force, dragged from their homes, things like that. That is something that comes up in the Burnett letter and the Cherokee letter. So it goes in here where the circles overlap. Okay, that does not happen in the Andrew Jackson letter, so it can only be where these 2 overlap. If you want to think about something that happened between the Andrew Jackson letter and the Cherokee letter that was the same, you would put that right here. That might be something, this one's going to be harder. There's not as much in common between these 2. So you might write something about like, many people were involved in creating the treaty. They have different opinions about how that happened, but they both acknowledge that there were different people there to approve the treaty. Okay? Andrew Jackson thinks it was great, and the Cherokee think that they weren't represented. So you could put those details here. So they both think people were there to figure out the treaty. And then maybe up here I would write Andrew Jackson approved of the process. The Cherokee people did not feel represented in the process. Okay, so you see how that's different. Something in the middle is going to be something that you find in all 3 articles. And that might be something as simple as just really what we're talking about. That Native Americans were required by the government to move from their homes to land west of the Mississippi River. Be careful to not put any of your interpretation into these things. So you might find like, oh, that was really racist, for example. Well, does Burnett say that? Not so much. He might say, you might find a word that he does use for it, and you can put that here. Andrew Jackson certainly doesn't think what he's doing is wrong, so you can't put in here what you think about his letter. You can only put facts from his article, what he says. Okay, so you can't put things like racist, bad idea, even if that's what you think, because you're just pulling from the text. You're not putting in your opinion. Okay, so something that you might be able to say about Andrew Jackson, another thing that you might notice is at the beginning of the Andrew Jackson letter, there's a note from Newsella. I might read that note and think about what it says, what it means. They call that a disclaimer. And think about how that's different from these 2, from the Cherokee letter and the Burnett letter. And you could put that in here. Why did they include a note? Why did Newsella include a disclaimer? Okay, so those are some of the things that you're going to want to fill out on your Venn diagram. You have to have something in every circle and all the overlapping parts too. Okay, so that is the Venn diagram.